And Cabot-Alletzhauser is, well, a voice of integrity, a voice that rattles a lot of cages. And if we
pisses people off.
well, you got Edward Kiswetter, your CEO, behind you. I know he's a great proponent of the whole disruption of financial services.
He's great.
But what about robo-advisors? Is that the next disruptive force?
Well, it's already disrupted, hasn't it now? I mean, if you think about it, what are investors screaming for? They're not screaming for alpha. They're not screaming for who's the top performer. They're screaming for, please get me to where I need to get to with my money. Make my money do something for me. So if I have a child who needs to get into education, tertiary education, make sure that I have enough money in 10 years' time to do that. What's powerful about a robo-advisor, or the concept of an algorithmically run solution, is that it can sit there and respond to the changing market environments. It can use very low-cost vehicles like ETF. I mean, Charles Schwab has just launched a whole platform with ETFs in the background, which are passive, low-cost instruments, and says, what combination of these different asset classes, these risk premia or strategies, can I capture that will get me from A to B in 10 years' time with a high degree of certainty? Now, that is much more what the investor is screaming for than whether it's Alan Gray or Investec.
Yeah, the whole idea of costs, I think, has gone a little bit too far in South Africa, i.e. there have been a lot of snouts in the trough, and maybe that opens up for robo-advisors, but we haven't seen them really picking up yet.
The cost issue is everywhere, okay? And I always will remember that John Bogle exercise that he did, that he said that for every dollar that you put on the table, 70% of it goes to the financial service company and 30% of it goes to you. And that's a scary number.
70-30?
Yeah. Take a look at that book, Enough, that book that he wrote, Enough. And so the Clem Sunter title comes to mind, What's Beyond Reasonable Greed? So we have a lot of fat in the industry that can be taken out of. I mean, obviously with new regulations coming in, that's taken a lot of the fat away because the costs are going up. But there's so much of an opportunity for someone to come in here, keep the costs down, and deliver what the investor wants. And that's really where the game changer is going to be. And speak to me. Keep a constant dialogue with me. Now, speaking to me without having to see me actually is a lot more effective because I'm going to be honest with you in ways that I probably would never be honest with you if you were an investment professional or a financial advisor, because I don't want you to think I'm stupid.
And disruption, and is with the Alexander Forbes Financial Research Institute.